fine option one. I think it's up to the council to recognize that and give you, give the EDA the credit that it deserves for its work in working with this company and coming to this conclusion anyway, that yes, it is in a state of default for its last forbearance, and there needs to be some urgency applied to this. I think it's also important that we, as Roger said, be willing, to allow him the 2 weeks if that's what he needs to come to the council with an explanation that is satisfactory to the EDA and to the subcommittee, which I might suggest if the subcommittee could review with Kevin, or if he has a plan, or has begun a plan, or whatever it is, wherever he's at. But I also think that the use for the EDA and for this business owner to strongly consider the use of a forensic accountant to help him figure out what exactly his structural problems are that would allow him to get the business on a solid operating footing might be helpful. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Looking at it, from the outside a little bit. But
the reason I say that you ought to give it 2 weeks. He's promised he would be here. Is he going to explain it to us? Or is he coming with a plan? You don't know that. We don't know that. He might have found some money somewhere.
Well, let me just understand that the issue is he was required to give us financial statements. Him coming in with money makes no difference. He hasn't shown us what his financials are. The profit loss statement, income balance sheet, those things that he signed when he took the money. He agreed to send those documents to us on a quarterly basis. We've gotten none of them. So I'm not sure what in 2 weeks he's going to be able to explain to the council as to why those things weren't forwarded to the EDA as he indicated he would. He agreed to. And then, so that gets to the default. Now, as far as listening to his testimony, whatever, I think that's fine and reasonable if the council would like to do that. The only other thing that I would caution the council on, though, is understand his forbearance runs out in September. I would anticipate that he is going to be requesting additional forbearance. So if you consider you've got someone who's been in a business that's been in forbearance for a year, has not submitted the paperwork that they agreed that they were going to submit to us, is going to be requesting additional forbearance. So in other words, I'm not complying with a loan, but I want another loan. I want another extension to the loan.
Well, but I still think as being a city resident, and if that thing would ever hit, it could employ quite a few people.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I just feel like I'd like to hear what his problem is from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you guys aren't doing a good job. I'm not even in that.
No. But again, if the argument is, because I've heard it, about the business situation, and it's true, absolutely true. How does that change the fact that he hasn't complied with the terms of his loan? That's the issue. I mean, waiting 2 weeks is fine. I don't have any problem with it. I just want the council to understand we're backing into another forbearance issue, and I'm not sure what can be said other than, I mean, if he comes in 2 weeks and says, here's my financials, and they're what we're looking for, that's great, he's cured. That's
Right.
that's all we're wanting. If
And-
he came in this morning and gave them to me, it would be great. But his claim is, I'm too busy because I'm by myself, which is, that's what he is. I'm too busy to get these done. And we're trying to impress upon him the fact that we've got to have them. You agreed to provide them. You know,
And what the EDA is recommending here is forwarding that path to cure. Is what they've got, what he's got defined here. And as far as I'm concerned, following the EDA and their staff recommendations is to help him get him on his path forward.
or I think
Because
it's
that-
suggested, excuse me, Your Honor, is acknowledge the loans in default
Right.
and wait for 2 weeks for them to come in.
Right.
I don't
That's-
think it should change the August 28th date.
No.
I would strongly encourage the council to stick to a date of that type, because if you go into September, he's gonna be trying to catch up on a loan
Right.
that he's now requesting another extension on.
Because that he's in default is just not in question.
I'm not questioning it.
It is.
Well,
All I'm
logistically,
doing is
Does that
saying,
make sense?
logistically, if you've given him the chance, suggesting is to give him until October 28th to cure and provide the financial,
August.
or August. If you kick that down the road and you get into the time period beyond the forbearance, you're gonna ask the EDA to analyze a forbearance request with no financial data again.
Right.
And then what your remedy is complete default and then we collect. So you're not doing them any favors by taking it down past the forbearance. I would agree with staff recommendation that the loan terms are in default. He has until October or August 28th to cure, and certainly welcome him back to discuss it with you anytime you want, but the fact of the matter is the loan terms haven't been complied with, and you have till August 28th to comply. If you go beyond that, we're gonna have a significant issue on analyzing the forbearance request if it comes. If it doesn't come, then the payments start and we're looking for performance.
The forbearance request, also in our procedures, should have come to us already. We asked for a delay, a period of time to provide that analysis. When he crosses that default threshold on the forbearance, he's in double default. So this, in many ways, on the advice of staff, and as we tried to reason through this unfortunate timing, we've tried to get this cured. And we've tried to encourage him to cure this before we start down the road of the second forbearance.
So he got the letter in June. Prior to that, he got letters after each quarter to comply. And this coming together of forbearance requests, new forbearance, default, that's not our doing. That's his doing. And I almost feel like I'm apologizing for the fact that these things are coming into effect at the same time. That's not up to us. We didn't decide that. We have to react to what we've got. And I think Joyce has already sent out at least one reminder, and getting ready to send another one about the fact that the forbearance is coming up, and we need to have that in August.
That was a footnote on the letter to cure default, that this forbearance was coming up, and I provided the forms for doing that, for making that application.
Okay, I move that we follow the recommendation, as this is on the bottom, that the acknowledging the loan is in default. Further, staff recommends option 2 be considered for a period of time. Specifically, that he must return the required financial documents to the Rushofrd EDA no later than August 28th, 2014. 2014. not 2014. And
Options 3 and 4
options
be
3 and
available.
4 be available to the EDA to pursue if necessary,
And invite him to the next council meeting.
and invite him to the next council.
I agree. That work? Yeah.
That's good.
at least.
That's a motion, that's a motion. That's a motion, do I got a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Dahl, second by Mr. Bucky, go ahead, Roger.